Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Max, and today we are going to be taking a look at and putting up the Twinkly Smart Holiday String Lights. The particular kit that I have is a 400 count RBG plus white Generation 2 set. Now, full disclosure, I actually got this set back in 2021, so this is my third season putting up these lights. However, given the popularity of my Agobe permanent light install video, which I will link now, and the fact that we've entered the holiday season, I figured that this would still be a good product to go over. And also, while this product is over 2 years old, looking at their site, it still appears that they're selling the Generation 2 lights. So if that's the case, the hardware probably is the exact same as I have right here. And on top of that, regardless of hardware, you'll be using the same updated application when you use these lights. So all the effects and features will essentially be the same no matter which ones you get. Now, before we go over what comes in the box, let's go over how many lights you actually need. The Twinkly site actually has a built-in feature that allows you to select your tree size and desired light density, which outputs a recommended light length. This is incredibly useful when making a decision, albeit directionally. And I'm intentionally saying directionally because of what I have versus what it recommended. Now, every year we get a 7 to 8 foot tree. And when I select a 7-foot tree and low density from the site, it does pushes you to get at least a 500 light strand. But as you can see from the box, I only have a 400 light strand. And I personally don't feel that I need more lights. Now, I don't feel that these are lacking at all or give me low coverage. So you'll see that effect once I get these up on the tree. So enough talking about the lights. Let's go over what came in the box and actually put them up on my tree.
So I do actually still have the box that these came in when I bought them in 2021. Nice Twinkly branded packaging. You can see I have the 400 count special edition with RGB plus white LED lights. They are called the string lights. The predominant focus is to use effects on a Christmas tree. They are Wi-Fi Bluetooth enabled, come with 400 LEDs, red, green, blue with warm white. It is a dark green cable. The length is 32 meters or 105 feet, 8 centimeters or 3.14 inches between the lights. They are weatherproof, so it can be used both indoor and outdoor. And you can see the temperature ranges here. So let's get into the actual box. Like I said, I got these in 2021 and they were Generation 2. So when you order this, it's obviously not gonna look like this. I've used these for 2 seasons. This is my 3rd season with the lights. So this is just how we have them packed away. You have your power adapter that connects to the lights through this 2-pin adapter. That rolls onto a control switch. You pretty much only end up using this when syncing your lights with your Wi-Fi and your phone. And from here is where the lights get kind of interesting and non-typical compared to traditional Christmas lights. You can see instead of having a single strand, this actually goes and splits into 2 separate runs. So if I pull the lights out, you can see I have 2 clumps here because you have one half of the lighting strip running to this side and one half running to the other side. This could be a bad thing if you are planning to do a single run with these lights, because typically when you do a run of lights, you start from the outlet and you go off in a single direction. Because this is in the dead center, you would have to plug in your lights at the center of your light run and run in either direction. Again, these are definitely marketed more as Christmas tree lights, and for that use, I've had no issues with this kind of split design. It's just something to be aware of if you are planning to buy these lights for any use other than the Christmas tree. You have to make sure your plan for the layout takes into account that they split from one source versus having one continuous strand. Other than that, in the box, we have a welcome card, some stickers, and of course, our directions. Now for Christmas tree lighting, I actually think the split is kind of nice because since you're only doing half the strand at a time, you actually can better space your distance and make sure that you have them clustered correctly and evenly around your tree. Now, something else to consider with these lights is that they just come to an end with no additional outlet or connection. There is no daisy chaining multiple runs together. The length you get is the length you get. This isn't an issue for me because I chose the length in accordance with the tree height that I needed, but I, for one, put a star on the top of my tree that requires a plug-in, which means I have to run a separate wire to that tree versus just plugging it into the end of lights like I used to do with my traditional set. Just something to keep in mind, not a big deal, but it will be a workaround that you have to deal with if you do a similar tree setup to mine. And once you have these all unboxed, as with anything electronic at this price tag, definitely plug it in before you get started to make sure everything works. It'll guarantee that these are good to go as you start running these up the tree. All right, so anyways, my daughter has been anxiously awaiting decorating the tree since we got it a few days ago. So let's get on to wrapping the tree with these lights and going over all the different features and effects that you can do with these smart lights.
So threading these around your tree beyond having to deal with 2 separate wire runs is no different than any other string light that you're probably used to. Each separate run of lighting gives you a ton of slack before the light bulbs actually start, which does give you the flexibility to start and stop the run wherever necessary based on the location where you want to start and stop on the tree. My lights are already synced to my phone, but you'd also follow the provided steps for that after you plug these in and before you start running these around your tree. There's nothing special about the way they go on the tree themselves other than figuring out where to start and stop. Every year I have the issue that I end up with a little bit of extra lights based on my spacing and have to run that top strand back down, but that's more of a me issue. I could always start it over and make my bottom lights a little bit more dense rather than having to go back, but didn't do that here and it still looks and works out fine in my opinion. So once you have these all up on your tree, you get to the interesting part of actually syncing the light bulb location with your app. And in my opinion, the most fascinating part of the install is the mapping of the lights. Once they're all in place, you have 2 options, either 2D or 3D mapping. The 2D is a simpler setup where you take one frame shot of the lights flashing and it uses the different flashing to map within the software. But the 3D gives you more effects options, so we always tend to do that. This is very easy. In the app, you choose your mapping choice, you hold the phone camera up to the tree, and the lights will actually start flashing in different colors and patterns in front of the camera to allow the application to create a digital map of your lights and where they're located. You do this multiple times to get multiple angles, and as the lights are located on the tree, they actually start fading from red to green to let you know that the app has figured out where they are based on the flashing pattern. It's actually a pretty incredible piece of technology and software that allows it to do this and really makes mapping a breeze. Once you're satisfied with the mapping and the amount of lights identified, you're effectively done with this process. You can actually just start going ahead and assigning effects and scheduling timing for your lights to turn on and off. As I showed in the unboxing, these lights don't have any outlets at the end of them, so there is no option to daisy chain them together, which is different for a lot of people to get used to if you were trying to do a longer run. You're basically stuck with the lengths that they provide out of the box. This also presents a little bit of a challenge for my setup since we have a light up star that goes on top of the tree, which means we have to run a separate and individual outlet extension cord up the tree to that star in order to power that. My tree is in a corner location, so it's pretty easy to hide these wires, but it is something that you're gonna have to take into account along with the extra hardware that requires if you have anything else on the tree that requires a plug. And here's the final look once we have all that set up. So I do absolutely love these lights. Yes, they're a premium cost compared to conventional lighting, but the effects are incredible. It gives us the ability to change the look and feel of our interior holiday setup all the time, and our kids are obsessed with them. It's so simple and so easy to run, and creates a really fun time with all the different effects that you can use. There are so many options, giving you endless possibilities for the holidays. And circling back to the density recommendation, I personally think that I have more than enough lights to cover my almost 8-foot tree. I don't think these look low density at all, and in fact for me, it's hard to imagine what this would look like if I went with a higher density recommendation where I'd have almost double the amount of lights that I currently have. Maybe it's just me, but I personally feel that 400 is plenty to get the effect that I'm looking for with my Christmas tree lighting. And yeah, I really don't have any major cons for this product, other than the fact that they are on the expensive side, and you're gonna have to adapt your setup to that split wire run, which might not work for all intents for string holiday lights. Other than that, these are pretty awesome. So yes, I do highly recommend the Twinkly String Lights for your Christmas tree if you're ready to take the next step with your holiday setup. I'll include direct links to their website below, along with a direct product link to the specific set I bought for Amazon. Anyways, that's all I had today. Let me know your thoughts on Twinkly Lights, and if you have any questions or comments in the section below. As always, if you like this content and you want to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe to see more. Thanks for watching. Until next time.